Welcome back everyone who has subscribed and all of you who are now new to the channel. Make sure you stick around to the very end to see what's coming and of course for the giveaway. In the meantime, let's get started with Bruce Wayne. Keep in mind that for video purposes, I have already completed the project. I will now walk you through a few of the steps for you to complete your project. And yes, your colors can vary from this. This is only a concept or an idea that you can implement into your project. Para el propósito de video, ten en mente que ya completé el proyecto. Este es solamente un concepto, una idea que tú puedes implementar en tu proyecto. Comencemos. So it all starts here with the Dark Knight Returns Joker. To me, it is the weakest figure in the series, for lots of reasons. Now this is not a review, this is just to show you what I did with this figure. I ended up buying a second figure to reuse for a different project. I ended up buying a third figure for another project, and you'll see those in just a moment. But in any case, I ended up switching the head on mine that I kept because I didn't like that portrait. You'll see that in just a moment. The figure itself has a base color that lends itself very nicely to other projects. However, this plastic is difficult to paint and to dye. So the dye ended up discoloring it instead of tinting it. So I had to implement paint. And you'll see the figure painting in just a few moments. Todo comenzó con esta figura de Dark Knight Returns Joker. Entonces, esa es una base para el proyecto que tenemos hoy. Quizás ya reconoces la figura. El material es un poco diferente. Tuve que implementar una pintura diferente para que se pudiera adherir a la superficie. Yo compré 3 figuras de este, 2 que implementé en otros proyectos y uno que me quedé, y a este le cambié el rostro como ves aquí. Me gusta más este rostro, sin embargo, estoy de acuerdo. Los zapatos no funcionan. De hecho, deben ser unos botines y no los hicieron apropiadamente. Pero vamos a ver qué cambios hice en la figura para que puedas ver el resultado que miraste al principio. So I want to introduce to you the Gravity Feed 105 Arrow from Badger, and I did show this in the last video, but in case you didn't see that video, you can now view the intro to this airbrush here. Really happy with this brush. It really is well made, it's comfortable, it's well balanced, the trigger is nice and smooth, and that small inkwell is just perfect because it does not take a lot of paint to paint these figures. So let's get started with this project. Este es el aureógrafo que utilizaremos hoy para hacer este proyecto. Lo presenté en el último video, pero si no lo miraste, bueno, ahora te lo presento nuevamente. Este es el aureógrafo 105 Arrow de Badger. Es bastante sencillo de manipular y de limpiar y a la vez tiene un buen balance. Comencemos con el proyecto. So after prepping the surface on the figure, I'm going to add a few drops of the brown for the pants that we're going to start off with. And as I mentioned, the plastic didn't take well to the Ritz dye. It just really made it look even worse. and it discolored the plastic on the joints. So painting is the option to go. And you'll see how bad it looked after the dye. Here it is here. So I had to build up the layers to cover up all of that ugly part that the dye left on this white plastic. Así que intenté utilizar una tinta para poder cambiarle el color a este plástico blanco, pero no funcionó. De hecho, la tinta que es para ropa más bien destruyó aquí el plástico, lo maltrató. Entonces la mejor opción aquí era usar pintura y utilicé este color café para poder cubrir esas imperfecciones que me dejó la tinta. Depending on the opacity of the paint you are using, you still have to build up the layers on this particular plastic, especially with the imperfections that dye left for me. Those blacks, those dark areas were really hard to cover. So if you are just using the white and you didn't do any dyeing, then you shouldn't have any issues. Ten en mente que si tienes imperfecciones en el color blanco del plástico, manchas color oscuro, será más complicado pintar sobre ellos, así es que tienes que crear capas de pintura para cubrir esas imperfecciones y así puedas tener un solo tono en la pintura. Now as you take a look at the joints here, there is plenty of room in there for a layer of paint. You can go ahead and sand it if you want to give yourself that peace of mind, but you won't have to Dremel the joints out. Keep in mind that there are ratchets in these joints. No matter what you do, if you're going to paint over the ratchets, that paint will rub off. So best to avoid doing so, or just keep in mind you will have that paint rub. Now this is the varnish that I used on the jacket. And also I used it on the face because I did do some touch-ups for the eyes. Now keep in mind that this is a flat varnish and it was very nice to be able to add that blue pinstripe over the details. And yes, I did pinstripe each one of those. And it's a blue wash, so the blue wash falls into those crevices and gives you that darker blue tone. And then that light blue streak, well, that just dries as you come across the brown on the top. And then again, you can varnish it again. Now keep in mind that the project is now complete. I've already done so, and I'm just showing you a few steps of what I took to get to this point. There's only a few colors that I used here, just browns and blue. And the purple is already there. It's part of the actual mold. Now this vinyl doesn't like to be painted, so you should use a paint that is meant for vinyl. It's a little more expensive, but it will stick to this material, which is vinyl. And otherwise, if you're using craft paint or any other paint, it will in time flake off. Toma nota de que si vas a pintar esta figura, este material que es un vinil no le gusta la pintura. Tendrás que utilizar una pintura particularmente hecha para vinil específicamente, un poquito más costosa, pero se adhiere a este material porque si utilizas otra pintura, aunque sea acrílico, con el tiempo se va a despegar. Y aquí tenemos una comparación, el antes y después. Now here's a quick side-by-side comparison of the before and after, as some of you have requested to be shown in these videos. Now by now you are aware that these figures come packaged with these trading cards. I have no more room for collecting things. I don't collect trading cards any longer. That was a long time ago. So these are going to be given away. Otherwise, I will be throwing these into the trash. So make sure you contact me directly through this comment box at the bottom. And let me know if you are interested. This is a first come, first serve. I do not hold or reserve anything. If you are the first to contact me, give me your address, contact information. These are yours. So you made it this far, fantastic. Now we have the channel giveaway. I ended up with more than one horse. I only need one horse. So this one has to find a new home. And yes, there's a few rules to follow. And one of them is that it's going to be open only to US residents. I will not be shipping international. Only within the US. So you must be a US resident to obtain this Dark Knight Returns horse. It will ship USPS economy. So it'll take a few days to get to your doorstep. This is not going priority mail. Now, keep in mind the rules that are to follow as we are reaching a new milestone of 4,000 subscribers, and that's when this giveaway will happen. So, we must reach 4,000 subscribers for the giveaway to actually take place. And we do need a like, a comment, and please subscribe for you to qualify for this giveaway. And you will have 7 days to claim your prize. Now with that in mind, let's get back to the project to finish it up. And I ended up covering it up once again with the Liquitex acrylic varnish, the matte finish. And that's because I made a few touch-ups. I made a few touch-ups because I just couldn't stand to see the purple shoes. I had to replace those shoes. And fortunately, I was able to find a penguin for him to donate those fancy shoes. So this is what it looks like. I really like the way it turned out. I did not paint the shoes because they actually are dress shoes and they actually look fine just the way they are. Now, at a close view, you obviously can tell they're the penguin shoes. At a distance, you can see how well it goes with the outfit. The two-tone colors turned out really nice. Los zapatos son donados por el pingüino y se ven muy bien en el atuendo que tiene Bruce Wayne. Cerca sí se sabe que son los zapatos del pingüino, pero a distancia se puede ver que quedan muy bien con el atuendo, aunque son dos colores diferentes. Para mí, se ve mucho mejor la figura, no soportaba ver las zapatillas color morado. That's all that I have for you today. I hope you do like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, we'll see you here next time.